Alright gang, here I am, Jim Hart again, back at you here in my makeshift studio here in my office in North Carolina. And today I have 3 great questions for you for Q&A Monday. So let's jump in it. Right, first things first. This is a question I get asked all the time, and I was on vacation last week, so I didn't get a chance to send out an email asking for questions for this week. So I thought of some 3 questions that I get asked pretty much all the time, and I answer over and over and over and over again. And so here you go. First question is, what do you need to do if you're getting a divorce in North Carolina? What do you need to do to prove that you've been separated for a year? Because in North Carolina, you have to be separated for 1 year before you can file for divorce. And so a lot of people wonder, how do we prove that? Well, honestly, you don't need to do anything to prove it. When you file the complaint for divorce after you've been separated for a year, you're going to swear under oath that you have been separated for a year. And if your spouse comes in and tries to fight it, then you might need to prove it with a lease or showing that bills are no longer in your name or things like that. Or you could just do it with testimony. You get up there and you testify to the judge, I've been separated from this person for a year, I don't know what they're talking about. Now you wouldn't say it that way, but the basic idea is you don't need to file anything with the court. You don't need anything to prove. You don't need a separation agreement to prove that you've been separated for a year. You just need to make sure you are separated for a year and that you allege that in the complaint when you actually file for divorce. All right, question number 2, this comes to me a lot from my family law clients, is they want to know, do they need to redo their estate plan after they get divorced? And the answer to that is yes, you do. Because when you get divorced, you, by law, are disinheriting your spouse. They're no longer related to you, legally speaking. And so they don't have a claim to any of your assets, aside from maybe any equitable distribution claim they might have. So once you get divorced, your spouse, you basically have disinherited them. So you need to make sure that you have updated your estate plan, that you redo your will, that you redo all your beneficiary designations. Those are going to continue in effect after the divorce. So if you name your spouse as beneficiary in your life insurance policy and you actually want to name a new spouse or a child as the beneficiary in that life insurance policy, you need to make sure you change that. Oftentimes people have their healthcare power of attorneys in place and they will have named a spouse as their healthcare power of attorney or their financial power of attorney should something happen to them. You're going to want to update all those documents. So if you're separated or getting divorced, you definitely do want to make sure that you update your estate plan. Question number 3, we're going to transition from the estate planning and family law questions to a question about elder law, and that is if you are applying for Medicaid for an elderly parent who's going into a nursing facility, usually a skilled nursing facility, do you need to spend down all their money to allow them to qualify for those benefits? And the answer to that question is a maybe. Now, a spend down is not the spend down that everyone thinks it is. I talk about this at seminars and lectures that I give. When you're spending down money, when you go into one of these facilities, typically the social worker or the person in charge of the finances, is going to tell you that you need to spend all your parents' money so they don't have anything left because they can only have $2,000 in the bank. That's not actually, that's partially true, but what you can do is it's really not a spend down as much as it's converting it from a countable asset to a non-countable asset. And if you transfer that money to a non-countable asset, then it's not considered an asset in the eyes of Medicaid and they can qualify. Now, there are a lot of tricky rules about this. There's a whole list of assets that are considered countable and non-countable, and you want to make sure that you talk to an elder law attorney if you have a question about this. This is something that my firm can help you with, but it's a very tricky process. If you mess it up, there are no do-overs, and it can cost you literally thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars if you make a mistake in this area. So it's very tricky, but for all intents and purposes, when you go into the net nursing facility and that they try and tell you that you need to spend all your money on whatever, that's not true. You just need to convert it from a countable asset to a non-countable asset. Anyway, that's it for today. All right, well, thank you for watching today. My name is Jim Hart. I'm an attorney in Cary, North Carolina, licensed in North Carolina and Florida. If you have any questions or would like to reach out in terms of if you're thinking about getting a divorce or have an estate planning question, or even if you've been injured in an accident and maybe you need a personal injury attorney to help you, we have relationships with attorneys across the state who we can refer you to. So if you do have questions about any type of legal topic, please make sure to comment below or shoot me an email and let us know. You can reach us at jameshartlaw.com/contact, and you can send me a contact message there, and we'd be happy to answer your question next week. Thanks so much. Have a great week, folks, and we'll talk again next Monday. Take care. One other question. Don't forget to click the button down here, and don't forget to subscribe to our videos for updates. I really like answering legal questions, and that's what I do a lot of here on YouTube. So if you have any questions, click the button, subscribe, send me a comment. Be happy to help you. Take care. And as always, this is not legal advice, so don't think it is. Read the disclaimer at the beginning. Have a great day, folks. We'll talk again next week.